Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, August 27th. This is Gina Palma. Over the next couple of days, we will see increases to thunderstorm activity across the Great Basin associated with remnant tropical moisture being pushed north, along with some upper-level disturbances moving through the Great Basin. We'll also have some breezy winds on Wednesday over parts of Wyoming and also along the Sierra front on Thursday. The main impact from these thunderstorms will that they will be on the drier side, and they will be moving fairly quickly, so we'll see the potential of new lightning starts due to dry lightning, and also breezy and dry conditions moving in behind the lightning as we move towards Thursday. There has been no precipitation or lightning across the Great Basin over the last 24 hours, and initial attack was light across the Great Basin yesterday. Over the last 2 weeks, we've seen very dry conditions across all areas of the Great Basin. Only parts of central Idaho saw some very light precipitation, but very dry and warm conditions have persisted across all areas. This has allowed ERCs to increase significantly across the Great Basin and across Utah, southern areas, and over eastern parts of Nevada into southern Idaho. These ERCs are hitting record levels for the time of year due to how dry it's been. Further north and west, ERCs are near to above normal across Idaho into northwest Nevada. Looking at some of our ERC charts and some of our drier areas, you can see up across Idaho, ERCs are well above normal, and then all across Utah into eastern Nevada, ERCs are at record levels. 10-hour fuel moisture is very low across Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip, and a little bit higher across Idaho, but still in the 5th to 6th percentile range. Looking at our water vapor satellite image from this morning, we do have an upper-level disturbance well off the west coast, which will move northeast towards the area, and this will help generate thunderstorms. You can see the associated remnant tropical moisture moving up from the south across Arizona and Southern California, and that will move across the Great Basin from southwest to northeast over the next few days. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, we do have very dry air in place across most of the Great Basin, but some higher level moisture is starting to move into southern and western areas. So we may see a few isolated thunderstorms today over the Sierra Crest, mainly along the highest elevations, and also potentially some clouds, maybe a lightning strike or two over the Spring Mountains in southern Nevada. Otherwise, dry conditions will continue across the Great Basin today, along with very hot temperatures. As we move into the afternoon hours, we will see relative humidity drop into the single digits to low teens region-wide. And again, you can see where those few thunderstorms might be located today, later this afternoon. However, Wednesday is going to be one of the first big days across the Great Basin weather-wise. We will see remnant tropical moisture from Ivo moving up from the Pacific, and that will move up across central areas of the Great Basin. So we will see a better potential for dry lightning over western and central Nevada, into eastern Nevada, western and southern Utah. We have quite a few high risks across the region for Wednesday, and again accounting for this thunderstorm activity, which will also be fairly fast moving. So any precipitation we see will be very light. This will also produce gusty outflow winds. With the record-setting fuel conditions we're seeing across Utah and eastern Nevada and the above normal ERCs over the remainder of the area, the likelihood of new fire starts is high. Looking at the winds on Wednesday, we will see breezy winds over southern areas, which again will be pushing these thunderstorms fairly quickly. And also further north, we may see some breezy winds out across western Wyoming, along with very dry conditions up in that area. Looking at the image on the right, you can see where those thunderstorms might be located by Wednesday afternoon. Again, mainly along the Sierra front into western Nevada, and also over central and eastern Nevada into parts of western and southern Utah. As we move into Thursday, this moisture quickly moves off to the northeast, out across Idaho and much of Utah. So we do have high risk for these areas of Idaho, Wyoming, and northern and central Utah on Thursday. We'll also see dry air quickly move back into western and southern areas of the Great Basin, along with breezy winds. You can see these winds, the image on the left, southwest to westerly winds gusting around 30 miles per hour. So where we see that lightning on Wednesday, these drier winds moving in on Thursday could impact ongoing situations and also increase the likelihood of holdovers over eastern Nevada and along the Sierra front. The image on the right shows where those thunderstorms will likely be located by Thursday. Again, very little, if any, precipitation associated with most of these thunderstorms. They will be moving fairly quickly. And on Thursday, again, mainly be located over northern and the eastern half of the Great Basin. Forecast amounts of precipitation are shown here, and you can see not very much precipitation expected, as again, these thunderstorms will be relatively dry, with the exception of maybe the higher terrain of parts of northeast Utah into central Idaho and western Wyoming, as these thunderstorms may have a little bit more precipitation associated with them. As we move into later in the week, we will see continued drier and warm conditions out across the Great Basin. So these thunderstorms that move through Wednesday and Thursday will exit the area by Friday, with the exception of the far eastern side of the Great Basin, which may still have some isolated thunderstorms. We'll generally see low to moderate fire potential region-wide on Friday. As we move into Saturday, that dry air works its way across the Great Basin. So more general southwest to westerly flow, increasing temperatures, and low relative humidity. As we move into the weekend, this trend will continue. However, moisture will start to work its way back north into southern areas of the Great Basin. So we may see a return of thunderstorm activity to parts of the Arizona Strip and southern Utah. And then by early next week, that moisture really starts to work its way north. Right now, it looks like early next week might be the first potential for better chances of wetting rains associated with the thunderstorms. You can see how that moisture increases in the 7-day total precip. Again, this is mainly accounting for what will occur next week. This week, we'll likely see very little precipitation. The 8 to 14-day outlook shows the outlook from the early part of September, from September 3rd through the 9th. You can see generally warm temperatures and possibly above normal precipitation for southern areas of the Great Basin, but still near normal or drier conditions further north. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.